Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a great day. And above all else, it's trying to be looking after yourselves and one another. Before I get into the topic of what we hope to be another informative, entertaining, and just, you know, fun episode, I want to welcome back to the channel Mr. Jim Bricker. How's it going, Jim?
I don't know, man. Once you brought fun into the picture, I'm
I know I brought it down, right? Okay, okay.
psyching me out, brother.
All this pressure. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a special live album spotlight discussion. We have a doozy for you, ladies and gentlemen.
We do.
Let's talk some Stephen Wilson, shall we? Stephen Wilson, I do believe you've heard of the name,
Oh, gee.
has come out with a brand new album called Impossible Tightrope, live in Madrid. There is a bit of a caveat with this release, ladies and gentlemen. It
Yes.
is only available online on his website called headphonedust.com. The digital album was released on February 6, 2026. A massive album, very intense listening. The tour was in support of his most recent studio release, The Overview, released in 2024. The release has 13 tracks on it, with a whopping playing time of 132 minutes and 4 seconds. Okay, it is intense, and I do
That's a
mean
word.
intense. Yes,
That's definitely a word to use to describe this record.
yes. And Jim brought this to my attention.
I did.
He
Yes.
basically sent me a message saying, "Hey, asshole, when are we gonna do this episode?"
Now, wait,
Um,
whoa, 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 whoa.
but I digress. No, no, no. He did.
And
He
you also
didn't.
lie like a rug. I didn't
He,
say, hey, asshole.
no, 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 no. He didn't say asshole, but there you go. But no, he brought this idea to my attention, and I said, "Sure, let's do it." So once I purchased the album goes for £18, 99 pence, I believe, in British currency, and uh, converted to Canadian currency, the album will cost you $35 and change, depending on the rate of exchange, on the day, the time, the hour, the millisecond, what have you. Um,
And that's the price you pay whether you're getting the two-channel stereo version,
yes,
the 5.1 surround version, the
yes.
Dolby Atmos
Atmos
version,
mix, yeah,
or the binaural version.
yeah, which I have the binaural version. Um,
Right.
but before I give you my opinion on this release, I'm going to hand the virtual mic over to Jim and ask the almighty question. Jim,
Yes.
what drew you to this release?
Well, what drew me to this release? It's a long and sordid tale that goes back months.
I, I'm
Um,
sitting. I've got time. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. So I just by way of real quick overview, I became familiar with Stephen Wilson, having heard about Porcupine Tree and how it was very sort of proggy. And, if you like band X and Y and Z, you're liable to enjoy Porcupine Tree. Before ever actually hearing a Porcupine Tree, I did stumble across what was a brand new Stephen Wilson release, Grace for Drowning. I got it when it came out. The year of release is not off the top of my head right now, like 2003-ish,
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
yeah.
And it was a double album for 9.99. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy this sight unseen. And I really, really liked it. I really liked what I heard. This whole combination of Pink Floyd, King Crimson, art rock. Ambient soundscapes. I mean, it was just he's ticking all my musical jolly boxes right there. And then a couple releases after that comes Hand Cannot Erase, which was, absolutely perfect album.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for a long time to see Steven Wilson live and finally had the opportunity to do it on the Overview tour, which came through San Francisco in September of 25. And it was a massive show. The whole first part of the show was the entirety of the overview album. So with the two tracks, Objects Outlive Us and the overview, takes 20-minute break, and then comes back with a whole smorgasbord of Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree tracks to that covered pretty much, the whole of his career. And this album, um, the album live in Madrid, Impossible Tightrope, is about 80% of it is exactly what I saw in San Francisco. And what I saw in San Francisco was no slouch. It was their first North American show on the tour. The band was hot to trot. They were ready to go. This show, if memory serves right from reading the notes on his website, was the final European show before he went to India and then down to Asia Pac. Um, so this is kind of as much as the first show was, a beginning, this show was kind of a conclusion. But, you know, I believe you used the word intense, good man. And
Yes.
yeah, intense,
Cha.
atmospheric, progressive, virtuosic, pop
Yeah.
informed. I mean, this album has pretty much got it all. Um, just one more kind of comment in comparison to the San Francisco show. Um, I believe that all of the shows on the tour had the same basic structure, except for three slots where he kind of swapped songs in and out depending on his mood
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
what he wanted to play. On this album, one of those open slots is taken up by the track The Harmony Codex,
Yeah.
which is very Floydian. And
Okay.
we did not get that track in San Francisco. We got King Ghost, which was a one of the poppier tracks from
Yeah.
the COVID album that, I forget what the title is right now. Um,
Okay. Before you continue, I just wanted to let people know who plays on the album, because I think that's very important. You have Stephen Wilson on vocals, guitars, and keyboards. Um, Nick Beggs on bass and backing vocals. Uh, Randy McStein on guitars and backing vocals. Adam Holtzman, longtime collaborator with Stephen Wilson, on keyboards, and the one and only Craig Blundell on drums. Craig Blundell's also worked with uh, Steve Hackett on his most recent tour that he released his latest live release from, double release. Fantastic drummer, Craig Blundell is. But please continue. You were talking about switching out tracks in the set list.
yeah. So yeah, track three is one of the spots in the set that gets swapped out. Track six is another. On our show in San Francisco, we got a track called Staircase, which was from the Harmony Codex album. Um, on Madrid, they got Voyage 34, which is one of at least a portion of Voyage 34, which is one of the massive Porcupine Tree, psychedelic tracks.
Yeah, and
Very Pink Floydian.
very Voyage 34, ladies and gentlemen, is it goes through an individual's experience on dropping acid. And you have a voiceover that happens throughout the performance. And when I first heard the voiceover, I thought it was Dick Clark. It sounded like Dick Clark to me, you know,
Okay. Different kind of
um,
bandstand.
but it wasn't Dick Clark. But
No.
yeah, it's very Voyage 34, track number six, clocks in at 5 minutes and 51 seconds. Um, it's just very trippy, very atmospheric. Yeah, strap yourself in and just go for the ride.
Yep. The Pink Floydian reference there, specifically for this song, I'm thinking of Run Like Hell with just the echo and delay on guitar. So you might also say it's very U2-ish in a way as well.
Yeah,
But um,
yeah.
but it's all Steven Wilson, baby.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you're thinking run like hell. I'm thinking careful with that axe, Eugene. That's what I'm thinking when I hear.
well, yeah, yeah, that's very, very, very apt as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, please
the
continue.
last the last swap was track 8, wherein Madrid, they got a song called Abandoner, which was from Steven Wilson's first solo album, Insurgentes, I believe is how we're pronouncing it. In San Francisco, we got a track um, from To the Bone, which was called Pariah, which had a video appearance by Nanette Tayeb doing the great harmony vocal, co-lead with Steve on that. And anytime you get Nanette Tayeb in a show of Steven Wilson's in any form, the crowd is going to go bananas. And yes, our crowd went absolutely bananas. Um,
Ape shit, pretty much.
yes, as apes are wont to do when there's banana going
Yeah,
on.
there you
But
go.
yeah, this is a fantastic show. Just one more comment about why digital. Um, he talked about this on an interview that I found online, and he says it's basically this just having things being available digitally only just lowers the bar for what's viable to release. He says, I can put out projects that simply would have made no business sense as a physical Blu-ray. He talks about the fact that many Blu-rays go out of print after a single run, and it doesn't make financial sense to repress them. You do your initial 5,000, they sell out, and then people complain because they can't get them anymore. And yet it's not cost effective just to do 300. So when you eliminate the hard manufacturing and distribution elements of a Blu-ray or even a CD set, it's much more economically viable to go in and do this only. And this Headphone Dust website debuted with this release of Impossible Tightrope. And there's a bunch of other albums of his that you can get from
Yeah,
that as well, whether it's in his solo career under his name or some of the things from Bass Communion, which is one of his side projects.
yeah, and we're gonna put the link in the description below for headphonedesk.com. But now that you mention physical release versus digital release, which do you prefer? I know my answer.
Well, I,
Well,
I used to be able to kind of answer that and just say, oh yeah, physical. I want physical. And there is still a part of me that wants physical. But the practical reality of it is that I'm very rarely listening to physical media anymore. I mean, I took the extra step of um, taking this, this album is not available on Spotify, so it's available from Steven Wilson's Headphone Dust store, period.
even however, it is listed on Spotify.
Is it?
It is.
Ah, okay.
Little side note, when you type in Stephen Wilson, Impossible Tightrope Live in Madrid, it comes up. But
Really?
you can't play. It won't play. So just a little side note. Didn't mean to stump you there, but
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Um,
Can you
anyway,
see it? Can you
well, I don't see this album, but I do see the Impossible Tightrope song. So maybe there's just some syncing going on with your playlist or something, which
Okay.
can happen.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
anyway, um, so I put this on in iTunes and burned it to a couple of CDRs because I am old school, for I am old.
yes,
And
he
so I kind
is.
of listened to
He
it in the
really
car
is.
that way. Thank you. Thank you. This white just ain't for show.
Oh
Um,
no, it's not. It's genuine. Go on.
it's mileage. Um, I guess I would prefer, I like being able to physically hold the stuff, whether it's a box set or a two CD set or like a Blu-ray movie or a DVD. I love being able to sort of have it in my hands, but I'm beginning to become very torn by the prospect that, this just stuff, I don't listen to it in that format anymore. I'm becoming increasingly more and more digital. And it's just become way more um, effective and efficient as a means of listening to music. So, but I don't, I'm going to be a holdout. I'm going to still buy this stuff. If I probably would have bought this like if I knew that it was going to come out as a physical thing in 2 months or whatever, I probably still would have wanted to buy the digital immediately on the day it came out because the concert was so special. And I wanted to talk about it on the channel as soon as we could. So I wanted
Okay.
to get my greedy little ears on it as soon as possible. And
Okay.
yeah, it's a fantastic memento for people who saw the tour. Um, it is audio only. There's no video that goes along with it. Um, so you don't get all the screen films and whatnot. You do get a PDF booklet that comes with the download, which gives you kind of a sense of what was going on stage.
Yeah.
But this release is audio only.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just gonna briefly go through the songs that are that through the track listing. Okay. As we said, he did this tour in support of his latest studio release, The Overview. So, Objects Outlive Us and The Overview are the first two tracks in the set list. Then you have the Harmony Codex, uh, Home Invasion, and Regret Number 9, What Life Brings, Voyage 34, Acid Trip, Dislocated Day,
oh, oh,
Abandoner,
great
oh,
track.
hello, Abandoner, Impossible Tightrope, Harmony Corrine, uh, Vermilion Core, Ancestral, and it ends off with The Raven That Refused to Sing. 13 tracks in total. So there you go. That is the complete set list for this release.
Yep.
Now, when you saw this show in your neck of the woods, what was your reaction to what you were seeing?
It was one of the loudest shows I've ever seen, and it was immaculately performed. Um, and the with the video highlights in there as well, it became an even greater sort of experience. I mean, there were times where I'm like, geez, should I be watching the screen? Should I be watching the musicians?
I know.
Either way, it worked. He was very clearly energetic and talking about things with the audience here and there. The song Dislocated Day was very special because that's sort of the one song in the set where they get to monkey around a little bit, where he kept kind of messing with the dynamics with Craig Blundell, and it's like, okay, to the
Hmm.
point,
Hmm.
he's doing these 64th notes on the hi-hat and the snare, and yet Steven keeps telling him, bring it down, mellow it out. And because this song is just all about the dynamics until it explodes in the da na 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 na,
Yeah,
um, it was a lot of fun, and every song, I went with my son and my buddy Rob, and we just kept looking at each other at the whole show, just kind of shaking our heads, going, I can't believe this.
because when I hear this, like I've listened to it twice. Like for this episode, I've listened to it twice. I sat through, have no choice but to sit through anything, um, pun intended. But when I listen to this album, the emotions that you go through, I mean, you go through ambient, you go through heavy rock, you go through heavy metal, you go through like trip hop kind of elements. You go through a lot of emotions. And when you come out the other side of it, like it's almost like you enter a tunnel. And when you come out the other side of the tunnel, you're changed. It's because it takes you through a whole whirlwind of experiences and emotions.
Yeah.
Especially on the track Home Invasion Regret Number 9. That's sort of
Whoa.
like regimented like rhythm guitar that dun, 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 like that. You're like, what am I hearing? I mean, obviously I have, I have the album that
Yeah.
it's
The hand
from,
cannot erase. Yeah.
Hank Cannot Erase. But when you hear this and it's done so pristinely, I mean, number one, ladies and gentlemen, these performances that you hear when you download them are in stereo. These are pristine productions. These are not. This is not somebody with a handheld recorder at the front of the stage. This is a soundboard recording done to the most pristine polished sound ever produced
Yep.
and
I mean, if
released.
you, it's for people who know Steven Wilson's production techniques and the sound quality of his albums, this is spot
This
on.
I'm going to say this. This is not the most recent Yes box set
Well,
that they've released because I have said in my review of the box set that the performances for the Yes show are not as pristine and not in stereo. Okay. This show is immaculate, immaculate, and
yep.
its presentation and its delivery of a full rounded, perfectly balanced performance. Wonderful, wonderful. I cannot say that enough. But
Yeah,
this show is fucking intense.
it
Like
is.
it is intense. I mean,
And it's very to the point that you were raising earlier about, you go through so many different things, and you do that with any Steven Wilson album
yeah.
where,
Oh
you're
yeah.
very fond of saying music takes you on a journey, and Steven Wilson is all about
About
taking
the
you on a
journey.
journey
It's not
and
about
light
the
and
destination.
shade and all these things. Um, it's all very true, very, very true. And when you listen to his live albums. Like, I've heard Get All You Deserve and, Live in London, and they're all really great. But there's something very, very different about actually seeing him perform this stuff live in the concert hall. And that palpable energy and that just, electricity kind of it stays with you. It's a real thing. And as much of a journey as you get through listening to an album, seeing him live, he's got a broader palette or canvas with which to sort of do this journey. And so you go through the whole thing through, the spacey Tangerine Dream, like, first two opening tracks, which are like 40 odd minutes of the show. Harmony Codex is this spaced out, you know, Pink Floyd, careful with that axe, or Miles Davis in a silent way, just hyper ambient, maybe Spirit of Eden kind of
Yeah.
feel to
Yeah, I
things.
get that. I
It's
get
it's
that.
a song with like in the barest, loosest description of the term. It's just more like audio themes that intertwine with a spoken word thing that kind of takes you to it, and it's a perfect complement to the themes
Yeah.
of the overview album, and it's just pretty
Well,
pretty ballsy move to kind of have
yeah,
that performed in a show, I gotta say.
it's very ballsy, especially like in terms of the tracks. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, these are full-length tracks. I mean, you're talking, Objects That Live was 23, 29. The overview, 1851. The Harmony Codex, 1018. These songs are in their like the full-length versions. These are not cut down to like medleys or like a minute and something here and there.
Yeah,
This is a full immersion experience when you listen to this, and it is an experience. It is something to. I'm not going to even say you can put this on in the background, go about doing your daily routine, and just have this on. You need to sit back with the headphones or with a good stereo system with proper speakers, sit back and just lose yourself for the 132 minutes and 4 seconds
yes,
and just go for the ride.
you're drawn into it.
You
It
are.
yeah.
You are. And, the audience is into it because, you hear him say every once in a while, muchas gracias, buenas noches, basically, we've
As you do in
arrived.
Spain. Yeah.
Yeah, as you do. Basically, we've arrived. Let's go. And the minute he hits the gas, you are flying. It's like with this album, and yeah, it's a trip. It is a trip.
Yeah. And
Um,
for every piece that I described, Harmony Codex, which is very trippy, atmospheric, ambient in its nature. The song right after that is the one you talked about, which is Home Invasion, Regret Number Nine
Yeah,
from Hand Cannot Erase, which is very uh, proggy, metallic, but yet it drifts into, like Alan Parsons' production standpoints on the
territory. Yeah,
chorus of Home Invasion, and then of course the two in monster solos, the keyboard solo and the guitar solo in Regret Number Nine are just master classes in um, texture, technique, creativity, the musicality of just having instruments kind of tell the story. I mean, it's just fantastic. Your four, those are four songs, and that takes up, oh, how much time? Let's see here, 40, 50,
you look.
62 minutes.
You're looking at an hour plus, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
just yeah, and that's just the four songs, and then it goes into What Life Brings, Voyage 34. Again, that's another 10 minutes or 9 minutes there.
Yeah, about
Dislocate,
five,
yeah.
just under six.
Well, hold on, no, no, no. The two songs together, What Life Brings, and then Voyage 34.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Uh,
The two together. Yeah.
yeah, and then Dislocated Day and Abandoner. I mean, you go through you go through so many experiences and emotions with with these songs that it's just like what the hell else is there, right? And then comes Impossible Tightrope and Harmony Korine and Vermilicore. It's like,
Hmm.
and Vermilicore is pretty much the end of the show, and then they come back with Ancestral at 13 minutes and 48 seconds. And then they end with 8 minutes and 33 seconds, The Raven That Refused to Sing, which the album itself is a whole other ballpark for me. It's a whole other game changer situation for me, that whole album.
Yeah.
Again, produced by Alan Parsons. But yeah, I mean, mic
Yeah.
drop, mic drop. I'm stunned right now. I can't even begin to I can't even begin to describe what I felt listening to this. And I will go one further. I would prefer the physical release
Hmm.
myself. Yes, it's all very neat and tidy to be able to buy this and online and have it, stacked away on on a hard drive or on a you know memory stick, but I prefer myself. I'm old school. I prefer a hard copy that I can put on whenever I want by the stereo with the lights off and just go for the ride
Yep.
myself. But yeah, this is an experience, ladies and gentlemen. You really need to check this out.
Yeah. This
The
is, probably going to be up there for, probably my favorite prog album of the year. Right now it's in the one to beat, category. And it's quite possible. I mean, before this, we were just recording an episode about some 2026 releases from artists that were kind of new to both of us. And I said it then, I'll say it now. There's a shit ton of real good music coming out from all corners of the
yeah,
world. So keep your ears open, friends. But yeah, Impossible Tightrope is just a no brainer in terms of easy recommendation, easy value for money. And the great thing about this is that he does well with this, he'll do more. I mean, there's no reason why, if other shows on the tour were recorded, like San Francisco, where you've got three different songs, maybe he'll just do like an EP that releases other songs from the tour, but that were not from Madrid.
could be, could be.
Could be.
Um,
We'll see.
After listening to this album, here's one question for you, and then we'll bring it to a close.
Eh.
Could he have, from what you've heard, could he have made this any better, or is this the perfect set list for this release?
Well, that is a very good question.
I'll
I
take
think
a
it's a
sip of tea
perfect.
while you answer. I'll sip my
I
tea
think
while you answer.
it's a fantastic set list. Harmony Codex is just wonderful. I prefer that over King Ghost. Voyage 34 is certainly a whole lot of fun. Um, Abandoner is a much rockier song than Pariah, even though I love Pariah with the Nanette Tayeb vocals. Um, I have no complaints about this release because it is the show. If there's any studio doctoring that has gone on in here, I don't know about it. I can't hear it. This sounds like exactly what these five guys threw down on that night, and it's just like, oh my God, how can Craig Blundell play this furiously all night long? How
Hmm.
can Randy McStein do these amazing guitar runs that just are so lyrical or intense? It's just such a fantastic album. I don't know how it could have been made any better.
Okay. It's interesting that you mentioned Craig Blundell's performance. I would agree with you. There's no loss of intensity in terms of his playing. He is just on fire. I mean, okay, in some tracks, the drums are sparse; they don't come in right away. Like you're not playing throughout the entire X amount of minutes, but for the
Hmm.
song. But when he does come in, he is just like he is all over that piece of
Sure.
music, like a bad shirt kind of thing. So, and this is my first live Steven Wilson release. Uh,
Oh, really?
yeah. So this was for me in bloody tense. It was intense. I'm telling you, it was just
Well, then, good sir, let me recommend the audio and video release of Get All You Deserve, which was recorded in Mexico City on the Grace for Drowning tour. Not only do you have Adam Holzman, not only do you have Nick Beggs, but you've got Guthrie Govan on guitar. No, not Guthrie Govan on guitar, excuse me. You've got Marco Miniman on drums, and the previous guitarist, Nick, oh, I forget what his name is, but just to get that show, just to see Marco Miniman play, oh my God,
okay. All right.
intense.
You convince me. You convince me.
Get
Yeah.
all you deserve.
Okay. I will get that. I will get that once the bills are paid. You gotta pay the bills. All right.
Yes, you do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. A very special live album spotlight featuring Steven Wilson, Impossible Tightrope Live in Madrid. We will be putting the link to his website, headphonedust.com, in the description below. You can get your copy there. You can get it in various formats, Atmos, Dolby Atmos, uh, two-channel stereo, 5.1 surround. And you know what? Please check it out. It is worth it. It is really
It's an
worth it.
easy recommendation.
Yeah, and if you do purchase it, you'll be paying in Canadian dollars roughly around 35 to $36 Canadian for the album. Uh, Again, it runs 132 minutes. So when you sit and listen to this, bring some food, bring a drink, sit back, and go for the ride. Seriously. I want to thank Jim for joining me on this special episode of Live Album Spotlight. And yeah, please check it out. And if you've heard of the album, please put down in the comments below what you know of the album and what you think of the album. And when you've heard of the album, put your comments down below. And
And I'll throw this out there. If you've gone off and say, well, Armando and Jim know what they're talking about, I'll go spend my money. I'll see what that's like. And you want to come back and say, you guys are drunk. You're high. You have no idea what you're talking about. I want you to pay me back. We're not.
no, we're not.
No, we're not.
Ain't going to happen. It's not
We'll
going
have
to
you
happen.
contact Ken. Ken can pay you back.
There you go. There you go.
Hi,
There you go.
Ken.
Yeah. We miss you, Ken. Anyway.
Yes, we do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for joining us for this episode. special episode of Live Album Spotlight featuring Stephen Wilson and Possible Tightrope live in Madrid. And we have more episodes that we're working on, and we're going to get them to you as soon as we possibly can. Please click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to again keep yourselves on top of any new content we got coming up. And we'll see you soon again on the Music Den. All right. For Jim, I'm Armando signing off. Look after yourselves and one another. Bye for now.